Rembrandt, Self-Portrait Etching at a Window, 1648. What does an artist see when he looks at himself? In 1648, Rembrandt van Rijn created one of his most intimate and revealing self-portraits, not in paint but in print. Self-portrait etching at a window shows the artist not as a master of fame or wealth, but as a man at work, quiet, focused, observing. No artist in history has explored the idea of self-portraiture as deeply as Rembrandt. Over the course of his life, he created more than 80 self-images in oil, drawing, and etching. These were not just portraits, they were investigations, experiments, a visual autobiography unfolding over time. But this image is different. Here, Rembrandt does not pose, he does not perform, he simply exists. Seated by a window, he leans forward, working on an etching plate that rests on a folded cloth and a stack of books. He wears a simple studio garment and a hat, not for fashion, but as part of his working attire. The scene feels unguarded, almost accidental, as if we have entered his studio without permission. And yet, his gaze stops us. It is direct, focused, searching. We are no longer just observers. We become part of the moment. This is what makes the work so powerful. Rembrandt is not showing us how he looks, he is showing us how he sees. The year 1648 is significant. It had been nearly a decade since Rembrandt last created a major self-portrait etching, and those years had not been easy. His wife Saskia had died, legal disputes troubled his household, his life had shifted from stability to uncertainty. And perhaps because of that, something in his art changed. Earlier self-portraits often showed confidence, even ambition. He painted himself as a gentleman, a figure of success, inspired by Renaissance masters like Raphael and Titian. But here, that facade is gone. This is not Rembrandt, the celebrated artist. This is Rembrandt, the thinker, the observer, the man alone with his craft. Scholars have often connected this deep self-examination to the philosophical ideas emerging in his time. Just over a decade earlier, René Descartes had written, "I think, therefore I am." A new focus on the individual, on self-awareness, began to shape European thought, and Rembrandt, in his own way, seems to respond. Through his repeated self-portraits, he creates something unprecedented, a visual diary of identity, a lifelong study of the self, not as a fixed image, but as something evolving, questioning, and uncertain. Technically, this work is just as remarkable. Rather than relying purely on line, Rembrandt builds the image through tone. Using a combination of etching, dry point, and engraving, he creates a surface that feels almost painterly. The light entering through the window softens his face, the shadows deepen around him. The textures of cloth, skin, and paper seem to emerge from the darkness. It is a masterclass in control and restraint. Even the process itself reveals his thinking. Earlier versions of the print show how he constructed the image step by step, lines laid down through etching, forms refined through dry point, details sharpened with the burin, each stage bringing him closer to something not just seen, but understood. At the top of the window, Rembrandt eventually inscribes his name, a quiet but deliberate act, a reminder that light, controlled, shaped, and observed, is at the core of everything he does. And perhaps, in that moment, he knew. He had created something important, not just a portrait, but a reflection of a life, a mind, a moment of truth. As the image comes alive, as the light begins to shift, and the silence deepens, we begin to feel it too. This is not just a man working at a window, this is a man looking inward, and somehow we are looking with him. If this moment made you look a little closer, then this is exactly why Art Lectures exists. To slow down, to see beyond the surface, and to rediscover the stories hidden inside great art. If you enjoyed this episode, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. There are many more paintings waiting to be explored, and many more stories still unseen. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lecture.